Hey everyone, this is Pete. Welcome to PetieMumbles, and I guess we are starting off another episode. So, welcome. Today is the 12th of August. I'm finishing up my days off, strings of days off. So, day after tomorrow, just a pause here. There's a truck. I'm flying to Dusseldorf. Gosh, it's noisy. I hope you can hear me, but let's see. I'm finishing my days off. Day after tomorrow, flying to Dusseldorf via Munich. Hopefully it's gonna be all right then. I think today we should actually get our pre-roster, so I should know where I'm flying in September. So let's see. I will put up there my August roster reveal that I uploaded recently, so you can check that out if you haven't yet. So today, errands. I have to run some errands. I have to go for a haircut. I probably should start packing. So let's see how that's gonna go. I finished my training and everything. So this time I'm flying on my own. I will be the leader. So hopefully that's gonna be all good as well. So yeah, let's do this. My usual early morning proceedings to the airport with the metro, and soon I was on board with the 2 short hops via Munich. I enjoy the Lufthansa hospitality, even though giving water and chocolate is not much, but still I enjoyed it, and soon it was time to land in Düsseldorf, Germany. Hi everyone and welcome from Dusseldorf. Welcome to my channel. I actually arrived from Prague. I had a stopover. Had to change plane in Munich. The plane out of Munich was a little bit delayed. That caused a little bit of trouble for me. But actually what happened at the end was due to this delay, I met 3 people I know on the transfer to or from the hotel. So that's awesome. So I actually managed, and I might go with some of them for dinner. So that's great. I'm in the same hotel as you saw on my previous episode. So if you want to know a little bit more, I'm going to put it up here so you can check that out. I actually didn't get the executive room this time, but to be honest, I don't see any difference whatsoever. Maybe I don't know if I had an espresso last time. Now it's just a normal instant coffee. And there was an orange juice before in the fridge. Now there's nothing. But yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna head to the shop right now to grab something to eat because I haven't eaten anything today. And tomorrow I have a short day, just 2 legs, going to Dusseldorf, from Dusseldorf to Thessaloniki and back. I'm flying with another batchmate of mine, so that's great, and let's see how it goes. 2 days later. Hello beautiful people, welcome to this channel. Today is another day. So yesterday was my first flight as a purser. I flew from Dusseldorf to Thessaloniki, Greece and back. I think it actually went quite well. That wasn't anything terrible that happened, and yeah, I think we actually had a good time. I managed to do some small talk with the passengers, so I think it was all good. Today is, let me check, 16th of August. It's a Friday and I'm on standby. It's currently, actually I didn't tell you, 6:45, so 6:45. And I'm on standby, and the standby started at 4 a.m. and it goes to 12 p.m. Well, noon, so yeah, so far so good. Hopefully we're not gonna get anywhere activated. If you don't know what standby is, it's basically a time frame on your roster when you have to be available to reach the airport within a certain time to operate a flight. So yeah, I have a very early flight tomorrow morning, so unless they change my next flight, I don't think they can use me for very long. So let's see. I'm currently, since I didn't get called yet, I'm currently actually getting ready to go for breakfast because I'm a breakfast person. actually fix that. I'm a breakfast person usually in the hotel when I have time. When I'm at home or something, I usually do not eat breakfast unless it's a brunch or I go to or a weekend, because usually in a weekend usually have something as well. So my eye bags as usual. I didn't sleep well. I was waking up. I guess you can imagine, since you know that somebody's gonna call and might call and you don't know when and such. I was waking up very early. I'm using these, but it doesn't really help. Some people say it's a lack of water, that I don't drink enough water. But I don't know, guys. I guess it's just my genes. Yeah. So let's see. Breakfast time. Few hours later. I got pulled out, guys. I have been activated for a short flight from Dusseldorf to Vienna and back. So nothing too bad, but I just realized I needed something from the shop. So I'm heading to the shop. I'm buying a trash bag because you need to give as a person a trash bag to the flight deck, and usually they don't have it. So I'm gonna spend some money of my own and actually go and buy it so I have it ready in case it's not ready on board. I have to run because I have about 30 minutes till I have to be back in the hotel and start getting ready. I'm flying to Vienna and back, and I'm flying with my batchmates, a person colleague from my training, which I'm very happy about. I'm flying a small A319, so I'll be alone in the front and I'll have to perform the demo, so let's see how it goes. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. All right, check in later. Hey, on my way back, look what I got. Cool. Now off to Vienna. And off I went with a picture from the lift. Hey everyone, so today is Saturday. Yesterday was my standby where I get activated and pulled from Vienna. I was flying with my batchmates, as I told you. It was super nice flight and little updates. So I actually didn't do just Vienna, but I continued to Oslo with the crew, because the other person who was supposed to take over was running late, and actually I think it was him, his flight got delayed, so he wouldn't be able to make it. The flight would have to be canceled, so I took over and stepped in. In return, I got removed from today's from today's flight, which was the super early reporting time, which I was happy about because I'd rather sleep in the morning rather than get 4:30 wake up. 4:30 was already reporting time, so super early, super crazy. So I got rid of that. I got put on standby today from 9:30 in the morning till 7 p.m. It's currently 3 p.m. I checked, and technically all the flights that I could do already departed, so shouldn't be activated. So I actually changed and I'm gonna go for a run because I was not doing a good job with the running lately. So I'll let you know in case I get pulled out. I'm taking my phone. I'll be somewhere around the hotel, so in case they call me, I can be ready within the time required. And let's see, yeah. Tomorrow we have, though, again, early flights, but more about that later. So I wanted to share with you something cute that happened to me on the actual run. So there's a cute little park behind our hotel. I'm gonna put it somewhere here or here, a little picture so you can imagine it. And so I finished my run, and there is a bench right in the park. So I actually sit on it to kind of breathe it out and check my roster if anything changes, if I have any flight there, because I'm on the standby. And this little German kid, like so tiny one, just came to me and started speaking to me in German. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I told him like in German, Entschuldigung, ich spreche nicht Deutsch. And there was a cute couple like passing by, like an oldish lady. So the boy like ran away. And actually the lady was like telling me like, oh, he was asking you if you want a tattoo. So what the kids were actually doing in the park, there was a few of them, they had like a little blanket on the grass, and they actually had their own, you know, the tattoos, the temporary ones that you kind of stick for the kids. You put the water on it and you get a tattoo. So they actually were kind of giving it to people in order, you know, people kind of felt, yeah, I don't want to say bad or anything, but you know, like in order they give you a tattoo, so they feel like doing something good, so they gave them like a little money for it. So it was actually really cute. I actually got back to the hotel. I took €2 and actually I got a tattoo on that day, and I gave them the €2. So it was really cute. I thought I'm gonna share it with you. It was really, really fun. I'll show you a little bit better. This is actually the park around here. It's pretty long, these nice buildings, and actually this one is our hotel. It looks like a normal residential building, so this one is already residential, but this little small one is actually our hotel from the other side. And yeah, I'm gonna go now this way, and I'm gonna show you where the laundry is, the laundromat. And guys, we literally about 500 meters from the hotel, a little bit less, and this place is where it's all laundromats, but that's a story for another day. So I went for a walk, so this is some glimpses and footage from Dusseldorf downtown. Couldn't believe how hard it is to find a toy store in downtown Dusseldorf, but I managed in between the shops of Nespresso, Versace, Gucci and such, and toy store, but they don't have what my sister wants anyway, so mission failed. Beautiful Saturday, guys. Yeah, just a little bit too hot to my liking right now, but amazing park, beautiful kids playing in there. I already have, let me see how many kilometers, 6 kilometers done. I was going to look for the toy store. I found 2, but in none of those they had what my sister asked me for. But anyway, it's really cool here, guys. Sunny day, end of August. Soon is gonna become winter, so soaking up the sun till we Europeans can. Ciao. Hi everyone, so you probably get to the end of this video that I'm already editing for way too long. I have to get it done somehow. I cannot make myself, but I thought to end this video, maybe I can tell you some short stories from the actual flying in August. So let's see, I'm gonna give you that. Now, just to let you know, I'm already finishing my days off, so I've been on my days off currently. I have a few other videos that I will have to edit. I'm not sure how I'm gonna connect it, or if you see me wearing the same stuff, it's probably happening that I'm shooting it at the same date. But yeah, let's see how that's gonna go. And yeah, so I've been on my rotation actually for 19 days. It was my first rotation as a purser. So I was flying on my own with my crew, and I was responsible for the cabin. So how did it go? Well, to be honest, I think overall it wasn't that bad. It was good, but there is always room for improvement, right? So as I mentioned, there's always room for improvement. I had a few flights, I think 2 or 3 flights, I think 3 actually at the end. 3 flights with such a sweet captain. He is German. He has this cute little glasses, like this round one, so he looks a little bit, reminds me of Harry Potter. And he's super cool. But when he wants to tell you something, he goes like around the bush. So, like as a person after takeoff, you're supposed to go to visit the flight deck, ask them if they want to drink or eat anything. If everything is all right, you tell them about the specials of the flight. If you have something in the back, so in case you require assistance on the ground on arrival, for example, wheelchair assistance or something, he will let them know in advance to kind of remind them, hey, look, we need this. So whenever I went to the cockpit, he always said, oh, you know what? Everything is fine. However, there's always room for improvement, his words. So when he says it and he looks at me and he has this look on his face and I'm like, God, what did I do wrong now? I'm not aware of it. If he asked me, I wouldn't know what to tell him. And he always says, I got used to it at the end, but he always says that. And then he's like, okay, so to make the improvement and to make the day better, I brought this. And he always brings like a goodies for the crew, like some sugary ones, like Ferrero Rocher or some candies, chocolates. So there was always like, okay, so to make your day better, I brought you this. And I was like, wow, that's so sweet. So that was so cool. And actually once, one of the flight, it was a flight to Greece. He came out of the cockpit and again, his around the bush way, he's like, so I have a mission to accomplish. And I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? And he's like, I say mission, gyros and cafe freddo. And I'm like, oh, gosh, what's happening here? And then he tells me like with a long story and some sauce in between and before, he tells me, okay, Peter, find out who from the crew would like gyros or cafe freddo or both and let me know. So once we actually land, I can send the first officer to the terminal to buy that for us and we can kind of have gyros and cafe freddo on the flight. So I was like, okay, cool. So I gathered the orders, I passed it on. We landed in Kos. Actually, we started disembarking and like I see this one person trying to get into the aircraft while the people are disembarking. He just comes in, it's the ramp agent. He shows me the ID and he's like, okay, I need to go to the flight deck. I was like, okay, just knock, they're gonna open up for you. So he knocked, they get out, he gets in, and then within 10 seconds, there's the first officer like leaving with the ramp agent going into the terminal. So I realized, okay, they are going for the gyros and cafe freddo, and then actually they brought it for us. It was awesome, and I actually didn't get it from the conversation, but the captain, this nice captain, actually invited us all, so he actually paid for it, which was really sweet of him. So yeah, we had a gyros that was delicious, and cafe freddo as well, which was delicious too. Actually, a colleague of mine I flew with, we finished the coffee and then on the way we were flying back to Dusseldorf and he was doing the safety demo and he was holding up the life vest and I could see like his hands like shaking and I'm like, oh my God, is he gonna faint or something? And then he actually told me after he finished, he's like, oh, this coffee was so strong, actually it gave me the shakes. So yeah, that was one of the flights as well. So I was flying as a person on my own, so I had my little cheat sheet paper where I had a step-by-step what I need to do when, which was really helpful. And I was actually lucky enough to have on my first 3 flights, I think it was, the same captain. That was really nice. He was really cool. And even if I made a small mistake, he didn't make a big deal out of it. What usually happen is actually, like you're supposed to do something in order. So you're supposed to do this, then after this follows this, then this and this and this. Well, what happened that how I had it in the paper what happened is if you skip one thing, it threw me completely out and through. So what actually happened was that, the captain said, okay, close the door and call me later or something like that. And it wasn't supposed to happen. So what actually happened, I forgot to call him later. So stuff like that. But it was awesome. The captain's name was Boris. He was really, really cool and really, really great guy. And I actually, throughout my rotation, I met him so many times on different occasions. One, I was actually taking him as a passenger back to his base, which was Palma. And so it was really, really cool and awesome. So that was my beginnings for getting stuff. Hope I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to Hanover. So let's see if I learned my lesson and if it's going to be better. So let's see. Hanover, I showed you already. I've been there before. Maybe you'll get in a room. So I'm going to show you that. But another story, except for getting stuff. So once I had a flight to Palma de Mallorca, which, you know what, me as a person, I was doing boarding in the front at the door. I think it was a quite small plane. So 319, so I was in the front alone. And then towards the end of the boarding, I saw this group of people boarding the flight. And man, let me tell you, they had costumes, they were laughing, they had their own beers, and they were boarding. So straight away, you have this red bulb here, red flags coming up, and you're like, oh, we might have an issue, keep an eye. So what did I do? I told my crew to keep an eye on them in the back to see how they behave and if we should take them, offload them. They have their own alcohol. Are they going to behave? Are they not going to behave? I have to say the crew in the back was pretty awesome. She was actually Palma based as well. So I would say for her, it was regular customers, I would say. So that could be the issue. So she actually handled them well. She told them off what they were not supposed to do, what they were doing when during the service. They were actually behaving pretty good. They were nice and they were obeying the instructions, which is the most important. There were some issues, which, for example, when I first went to them to check on them and see, they start playing music from a loudspeaker, which I told them straight away, no, that's not how it works here. They tried to mitigate and they were like, okay, we're gonna play it really, really low. And I was like, hey man, you are not here alone. I know you're in a group, you're gonna be probably loud anyway. Be cautious, be respectful to the other customers and passengers that we have on board. And I have to say, they followed the instructions, which was good. We ended up selling them alcohol because they were not that bad and they were drinking just beer. And, it's not a 10-hour flight that we did, it was just 2. So we managed, and I have to tell you, as soon as they started disembarking, they start playing the sound, the music from the speakers. So I'm sure they have an awesome time back in Palma. And talking about our customers or guests, whatever you prefer, it was actually a funny one because we had 3 ladies boarding the plane. They were already pretty loud, especially when they laughed. Even the captain, because during boarding the flight deck door was still open. One of the ladies actually laughed and the captain actually looked because it was so loud that it caught him out, his attention to that. So actually during the service, they were in my section. I actually went with the bar and they were not paying attention to me when I was going through. So I was like, okay, they probably don't want anything. So I finished the service and I was coming back and this one lady actually called me and she's like, oh, did you forget about us? And I'm like, no, I didn't. Well, I offered, but you were talking to each other. And she's like, okay, never mind. So they were laughing, smiling, and the one lady actually wanted a white wine. I was trying to sell it to her and she's like, oh, do I have to pay? And actually, I told her not to, but she ended up giving me a tip. She actually asked me if I don't want to disembark with them and go with them for a trip, which I was flattered, but I told her I have to work. They were really sweet. So yeah, sometimes people, they just force you to take the tip, and we are not supposed to, or I don't know if it's written, but normally we don't. But sometimes they just, push it to your pockets or something. So they were really, really nice. I guess we had a fun at the end. We laughed, we talked, so it was awesome. But yeah, sometimes these passengers, I had another passenger. It was also funny because he was sitting in the aisle seat, and I passed by with a bar, and it was actually he started ordering. So he's like, water. So I wanted 2 waters. So I gave him 2 waters. He gave it to the lady sitting next to him. So I thought they are traveling together, but then I actually realized at the end that they actually didn't know each other. I think the girls actually traveled together, but the man had nothing to do with them. So he was just treating them for a water, which was really, really cool. And then I had one more encounter, weird story. In the hotel while having a breakfast, I had this mysterious lady coming to my table. But I will let you know about this lady in another video to make it a little bit longer, the other videos, and make this one a little bit shorter. So thank you so much, guys. Let me know if this little story time that will get better. Of course, I'll work on it. I'll literally try to prepare it ahead of time. Will get better. Let me know if you like it. And till then, ciao.